So here's my second pet. Took a while to do this video and it's not that easy to work with him. Here's my little western hognose snake, aptly named Chewy, because instead of striking he just tends to take it out of my hand, out of the tongs, and just he's very gentle. The big difference between him and the ball pythons, as you saw in my ball python versus hognose feeding. But one thing I just want to mention is people always like top 5 lists of, how can I say, your different pet snakes and starter snakes, and they always put like, oh, this snake's a good starter snake because this, that, and the other. Come on, you little guy. And what's good and what's bad about these snakes, and I think sometimes they miss out certain key elements. I've had snakes for probably a good 7-8 years now, varying snakes like I've mentioned before, so I've had quite a bit of experience with a lot of different snakes, and I see a lot of people recommending them as good starter snakes, and I won't, for one good reason. And I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me or say whatever they want, but this is just my opinion. It's not a known fact. I'm not a herpetologist, I'm not a snake expert by any means, but there are reasons why they're not good starter snakes. And for one, they are very picky eaters if they want to be. They could literally, like someone said, you could look at them wrong and they could turn down food. I've had 1 or 2 issues with him where I finally put the mouse in the tub and he ate it still, but he'd literally just smell it, be interested in if something went wrong, he'd just hiss at me, like just go away or try to hide or try to burrow. Come on, little dude. And it just makes it really difficult. Now why I say that's a bad trait for a starter snake is, it's just people that don't know snakes and don't know snakes can go off food. It's very nerve-wracking. I mean, he is my first western hognose. Come here. Wait. And it's nerve-wracking when your snake doesn't eat. Doesn't matter how much of an expert you are, if it's your pet, you don't want them to, how can I say, suffer. You don't want them to go without food. You don't want them to be sick. You just want them to be okay. And that makes it really difficult for me to recommend them as a starter snake because they're very picky eaters. Now, the second reason is, and I don't think many people mention it, but so many people mention this is a small snake, that's a good starter snake because it's so small, it's not intimidating. But it is small. Like, he's a couple of months old now, if not older, and he's still very small. He'll always be very small. It'll take a while for him to reach adult size, but to pick him up is such a difficult mission because he is so tiny, and not that I'm rough, but it's very difficult to actually like just pick him up without feeling like you're hurting him. And it's so much easier with ball pythons. You just, I don't want to say grab them because that sounds forceful, but you can easily pick them up. They have nice girth on them, so it's easy to grip them. Where this guy, he's so tiny and he's so soft, it just feels like you're gonna hurt them. And you have to work so carefully with him, like, especially since he's very energetic as well. You have to like guide him and stop him every now and then. And like you saw, if I put him down and pick him up, he gets very jumpy because he's such a small snake. So yeah, that's another issue. They're nervous as hell. So I don't know. They are good snakes. I love them to bits. But they do come with their issues, like most other pets. The other thing is why I wouldn't recommend them as a starter snake, which is the ongoing, are they venomous, are they not venomous debacle, if I can put it like that, is I've been bit by spiders, I've been stung by bees, I've been stung by scorpion, so I know I am not allergic to any toxin that I've come across yet. I haven't been bitten by venomous snakes yet, but hopefully I'll keep that off my list. But even mild venomous snakes can have a really bad anaphylactic issue with them if you don't know it. Snake breeder I knew had about 100 to 200 venomous snakes, white-lipped tree vipers and a lot. Never got bit once. Decided to sell all of them, got a bunch of ball pythons, and only after that, after helping someone with a coral snake, I think, he went to the doctor sometime and they actually figured out he's allergic to bees, and if even a mildly venomous snake bit him, he would have died because of the shock. So I do know they're not very venomous, and if you want to check out Snake Discovery's video on them, they really do explain it well. Gives you better insight than people just saying, yeah, they're rear fang venomous, and no, they're not venomous at all, and all that. They actually do go into the details, and they make it a really good case for it. But you never know what your reaction is of this, so unless you're kind of sure of it, don't take the chance. It's always nice to have an amazing animal, but if it could cost you something, life-wise, limb-wise, as much as you want, don't take the chance. I don't think there are any documented cases of someone dying because of one of their bites. I've seen some people having some pretty bad swelling because of it, but the chances of getting bit is very low. But I don't want people to avoid it. The fact is there that you could have a reaction to it, and it could affect you negatively. But other than that, given their personalities, the fact that they play dead, they shouldn't, because that means they're pretty stressed out, but they can fan like cobras. They strike with their mouths closed usually, and he's trying to burrow under my ring, the little bugger. But yeah, they are really nice snakes. They take a while to like calm down, but I think that's because of their size. It is intimidating if someone like 100 times your size tries to pick you up and you just don't know what's going to happen. So I do feel for them. But like you see, he's pretty chill when he sits with me, and he's very, very cool. So nice to interact with him, especially feeding him, because like I say, they don't strike, they just gently take the food out of him, and it's just a nice break from ball pythons that make you shit yourself if you're not like expecting it. So they are a good snake to have. They're really good pet snakes. They tame down well, they stay a nice size, but just take into consideration all of the cons that could come with them before you buy them. Do research. That's one thing I learned about having any type of animal. Do research and do more research and do more research. It's boring as hell. No one wants to. I'm an impulsive person, but it saves you in the long run. Just if something crops up, don't panic. If you have one, just do some research, be patient, and they will reward you. And like I just got him, I actually did research on how much humidity they need, and he's shedding one go. Oop, there he goes. I'll get you in a second. But yeah, they are nice snakes. No, come on. Hey, there we go. No, you're fine. There we go, come on. But yeah, everything comes with their drawbacks. But I love this guy to death. I would never ever get rid of him, because he's absolutely amazing. He's cute as all hell with his little pudgy nose. But yeah, just wanted to add that in. Don't know what people are going to think of it, but it's a little bit of my experience with snakes, and I thought I'd share it.